Welcome to the Fishbowl with Jade. Thank you for being here. I don't take your presence lightly because time is something you can never get back. So go ahead, put on your scuba gear because today we're diving deep. Let me ask you something. What do you do when someone doesn't just cheat on you, but tells you they stopped loving you years ago? Not last month, not recently, years ago. And while you were still showing up, still loving, still building, like they were slowly detaching, I came across a situation that really makes you sit with reality. A woman shared that her husband of 31 years cheated on her. They have 3 adult children. He told her he stopped loving her years ago and has been in a relationship with another woman for 11 months. And here's another layer. The woman he's involved with is married too. So now this is no longer just about one marriage. This is about 2 households, multiple people, and years of shared life, all intersecting in one decision. Let's slow this down. 31 years is not just a relationship. That is history. That is routines, memories, sacrifices, seasons of life, raising children, growing older together. That is a life that was built brick by brick. And for someone to say, I stopped loving you years ago, it forces a question that many people are afraid to ask. How long can someone be gone emotionally before they leave physically? Psychologically, what we're looking at is emotional disengagement. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens in layers. Conversations become surface level. Curiosity fades. Effort becomes inconsistent. And eventually, presence becomes physical, but not emotional. And the partner who is still invested often feels it. Not all at once, but in moments. Something feels off. Something feels different. But instead of confronting it fully, many people explain it away. Life gets busy. Stress happens. You adjust. You adapt. You keep going until one day the truth shows up in a way that can't be ignored. Now, let's talk about the cheating because we have to be clear. Cheating is not a symptom, it is a decision. Disconnection may create vulnerability, but stepping outside of a marriage, especially into another marriage, is a choice that impacts multiple lives. This is not just about a husband and wife. There is another woman, and she is married. That means there is another spouse somewhere asking questions, sensing shifts, or possibly about to experience the same kind of truth. This is how unresolved issues multiply when they are not addressed where they began. Now, let's talk about the wife because this is where compassion and clarity meet. After 31 years, you are not just deciding whether to leave a person. You are deciding whether to release a life you've known for decades. That is not a simple decision. That is grief layered with identity, stability, and memory. But here's the truth she has to face. She is no longer deciding between the man she married and being alone. She is deciding between the reality he has shown her and the version of him she is holding on to. And those are not the same. Now let's address something directly, the children. They have adult children. So let's be clear, staying for the kids is no longer a factor. Adult children benefit more from honesty than from a forced example of a disconnected marriage. They are old enough to understand truth, even if it is uncomfortable. Staying in a marriage where there is betrayal, emotional absence, and divided commitment does not protect adult children. If anything, it teaches them to tolerate what should be addressed. Now let's talk about the husband, because accountability matters. He didn't just fall out of love. He chose not to address it. He chose silence over honesty. He chose to build a connection outside of his marriage instead of confronting what was happening inside of it. And now he is presenting truth after decisions have already been made. That is not transparency. That is delayed honesty. Now let's talk about the question. Should she divorce him or not? And the answer is not simple, but it is clear in direction. She needs information, not hope. Is he still involved with the other woman? Has that relationship ended completely? Is he willing to do the work to repair what has been broken, not just say it, but consistently show it? Does he even want to be in the marriage, or is he simply managing the transition? Because reconciliation requires 2 people who are fully present and willing, not one person trying to restore something the other has already left. Now, let's talk about her power in this situation. She does not need to compete with another woman. She does not need to prove her worth after 31 years. She does not need to shrink, beg, or convince someone to see her value. Her role now is clarity, clarity about what she deserves, clarity about what she is willing to accept, clarity about whether she is responding to reality or holding on to history. And let's go deeper. Sometimes the hardest part is not losing the person. It's letting go of the belief that what you had was still what you thought it was. That requires grieving not just the relationship, but the perception of it. And that is heavy. But let me say this clearly. Someone else's inability to sustain love does not make you unworthy of it. Sometimes people leave emotionally because they stopped doing the internal work within themselves. And instead of addressing it, they escape it. And that escape often looks like another person. Now, here's the final truth. A marriage can be rebuilt after betrayal, but only when there is honesty, accountability, and mutual effort. Without that, you are not rebuilding, you are delaying. So the real question is not just, should I stay or should I go? The real question is, am I responding to what is or what I wish it still was? Thank you for sitting in the bowl with me. Now let's come back up to the surface, decompress, reflect, and ask yourself, if love left quietly, would I be willing to face it honestly? Until next time, stay classy, stay curious, stay ever evolving.